Dear trading community, yesterday was an incredibly exciting day and all the trades I announced in yesterday morning's live stream actually worked out. You remember I went through all the coins, or rather several altcoins that I have on my list, and for those that were valid for me I placed limit orders and most of them were actually filled. You can see that now on Bitunix as well. So I have several positions. These are all just smaller trades, but we have SUI, AAVE, Litecoin, Bitcoin, HBAR, XLM. I actually opened the Bitcoin position myself later that evening without announcing it because I saw a 0.786 entry here after the strong dump. But I did that yesterday during a private training call with someone else. We went through a few things and then placed these positions again afterwards. But before we dive into Bitcoin and go through all the individual trades, I really can only recommend, guys, I would definitely appreciate it if you leave a like on my channel. Let's hit the next 1,000 subscriber milestone and be sure to check out Learn Trading Step by Step to become a profit trader. There I explain in detail how I enter my trades here and why I take advantage of every possible market movement. I'm really very neutral when it comes to the market and try to take advantage of every long and short opportunity for myself. And you'll actually find that in there. Above all, that video always works. The simplest trading strategy and you're still not using it. By the way, that also includes passive income on autopilot. These are the trading bots I have running here, which keep generating profits all the time without me having to do anything. That's why I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and especially watched all my update videos, because there I show in detail how I proceed to enter these trades here as well. All right, let's continue now with Bitcoin. So yesterday I still managed to catch a small short because we had a strong recovery here after this dump. How did that go? Once again, I just used my Fibonacci level here, went down, and you can see the 0.5 Fibonacci was triggered perfectly again. And after that, it continued downward. And then down here at the 0.786 Fibonacci, I closed the short trade. But at the same time, because I saw that from this low to this high, we had a 0.786 Fibonacci, and I was watching live as we were down here, I entered again with this second candle. I placed a limit order there, and it's currently in profit. And at the moment, I'm just letting it run. That means I now actually have two open positions. One is the large Bitcoin position. That's the one I'm letting run for a longer period. So it's exactly this one here with $25,000 currently in it. Then I also have an Ethereum short and an Ethereum long, but we'll go through those in detail as well. And at the moment, I'm also just letting them run as they are right now. I'm not opening any further short positions now. I'd have to take another look to see if that might possibly be valid. Accordingly, when I see here that we've now had a rejection exactly at this Fibonacci level, I'll drag this over a bit further so we can say, okay, the price is now going up and we're getting a rejection here at 0.681. To visualize that for you again, it means that we go down here, trigger this point here at the top, and then actually go down again from there. Then if there's a possible rejection here, I would secure my position here and move the stop loss to break even so that I can't lose anymore. Yesterday, I still had some positions, one in Ethereum, which I can also show you. That one was closed at break even because yesterday I had exactly the 0.5 Fibonacci, which you can see here. I need to zoom out a bit further. It was exactly here. I had a long position there, which I shared with you. I then set it to break even when I saw that we had this rejection, and this position was then closed at break even. At the same time, yes, in addition to my long-term, this one here, the long-term long position, I also have a short position open here, which is still active. I've already taken partial profits here, but this short position is still running. If we get a rejection, I want to continue generating profits here, but the stop loss is already set to break even as well. That means I was actually very well protected. Unfortunately, the second long didn't work out. Break even is totally fine for me. Unfortunately, I missed the 0.681 entry on Ethereum. Then we also had Litecoin. I went through that with you. There was an overlap of the Fibonacci levels there. I said we have 0.681 and 0.5. If I set both here, we have our entry. And that was actually triggered perfectly. That was this one here. Nice trade in, a bit in the red at first, but now it's in profit. The second trade is still waiting down here at the 0.681 Fibonacci, which I will also enter if we go back down because there's also a liquidation level down here. But that also means we need to be careful because we have an ongoing bearish structure. And here too, we need to be cautious. If this high to this low actually leads to a rejection and we continue to go down, then I will also set this trade that I have open here back to break even so I don't take the loss. And that's my current approach. Then I also have the XLM trade, in case you still remember that one. I also mentioned yesterday that I was already in profit here. Here too, I saw yesterday how we had the correction to the downside. So I set my stop loss to break even, which was good because then the 0.681 entry was triggered here. And this one is now nicely in profit as well. And by now, how many percent is that? We can check that again on Bitunix, 6.73. And I think I did that with a 3 times. We should be about 20-30% in profit now. So this position is already very good as well. And what can I do here now? I've already achieved a risk-reward ratio of 1 to 2 here. That means for XLM, I will now move my stop loss to break even so that I can't incur any more losses here. Because that's what I told you. As soon as I reach a risk-reward ratio of 1 to 2, I set my stop loss to break even and no longer risk my position. I'll do that after the video. Then I have SUI. SUI was also 2 trades, at least yesterday. That SUI trade which I showed you was in profit but was closed at break even. You can see that by this symbol balanced with the scales. That means nothing happened here. I also did that because of the rejection. I was still ready for a short position here, but unfortunately I missed it. So we got in here and unfortunately I missed it, just barely missed it. I wanted to go short, we were already a bit further down and I thought to myself, no, I'll still place a limit order at 0.5 in case we recover again. Unfortunately, that wasn't good. I could have entered right away, but well, that's how it goes. Instead, the 0681 trade came in here and this one is currently in profit. And if this one doesn't work out either, because here again we have the possibility of a rejection. Don't forget, this is a bearish structure we're seeing. Also from this high to this low, take a look here, 0681, there's a possibility of a rejection, meaning we could go even lower. But I need to check whether I'm actually watching this live on the chart right now. I'm not entering this fully automatically right now, because if we look at it, we're in a long-term scenario. From this low to this high, we have this nice 0681 Fibonacci, which honestly looks very valid to me, but if that doesn't hold, I still have another entry. It's a bit outside my Fibonacci level, but there's a very strong liquidation level below for SUI, which is why I'm including it as well with a larger stop loss. Accordingly, it's also a lower risk position. What do I want to avoid here? If we pick up these lows or also pick up this low here again, I've gone a bit further down here, but I would move my stop loss up if we trigger this and the position continues to be in profit. That's how things look at the moment. Then I also have HBAR. That one was also triggered very nicely. HBAR was also in the video yesterday when we analyzed it, where I said I wouldn't even take the 0.5 here, but because of a liquidation level, I took the 0.681 and placed the trade here, and it worked out perfectly. Perfectly into the 0.681 entry, and now it's also in profit. But the same applies here at the moment. Caution, yes. Really be careful because we're also approaching the bearish Fibonacci levels here. I don't want to short this right away. Of course, it's possible to do that, but if we get a rejection here and I see we're heading back down, I might move my trade to break even and look for a new entry. That's just how things look at the moment. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Oh wait, I still have AAVE. Guys, AAVE was a perfect entry. With AAVE, I really have to say, yesterday I thought it wouldn't get triggered at all, but even this one, which I haven't even marked yet, was triggered beautifully. Because I waited a long time for it to trigger my Fibonacci level, and I was in front of the chart during this call yesterday, a private call where we did live trailing. And it just didn't want to hit its 0.5 Fibonacci, but in the end it did, right on point, and once again it shot up beautifully from there. And if I'm not mistaken, I can just barely, oh yes, I can already set my risk reward to 2 here. I can also move my stop loss for AAVE back to break even, so I'm protected now. And then if we really do go down here, I would simply do the following. Take my Fibonacci here, pull it down in exactly the same way, and once again set my take profit to the upside. Because if we do go down, what's great here is that we've almost invalidated this bearish Fibonacci. We should be around the 0.786 level now. That's what I mean here. So to me, this already looks pretty good for us to potentially move higher here. If we get rejected here as well, I will place a second order at 197.86 and try to enter another long position here. So overall, as I just said, at this moment, altcoins look very, very interesting to trade again, in my opinion. Right after this last price drop here, a really clean price action has formed, and that's something we're seeing with all coins at the moment, altcoins, Bitcoin, and so on. A wonderfully clean price action, just like in the textbook, so that we keep making higher highs and higher lows and maybe continue like that. Yeah, and take a look at this. This is AAVE now. Let's move on to HBAR. We see something similar there. Not quite as clean, but still wonderful. Here, after we had a double bottom, we made a new high, a new higher low, another new higher high, and another new higher low. And if this continues, we could actually see incredibly bullish scenarios here. I've observed exactly the same thing with XLM. Do you see this here? It's the same everywhere right now. We have textbook price action formations that, in my opinion, haven't been this nice for quite some time, so you can really take advantage of them. And that's exactly what I'm playing on right now. That one was, of course, a bit more intense, right? It had a massive surge, but exactly that massive surge, just so you can see it more clearly, gave the opportunity to say 0681. And why didn't we go for the 05? I explained that exactly in the video. If we take the complete low here and I include that in the Fibonacci, we can see that the 0.5 entry would have been much better. And both, yes, as I said, both together, 0.681 and 0.5 Fibonacci had a wonderful correlation when it came to the entry point, and that was hit very well. What I unfortunately missed, is that I didn't take this trade, neither of them, right? XRP, because XRP also had the opportunity here from this low to this high. But here too, there was a correlation. If I go down here now, you can see the entire low was the 0.5 level. Actually a wonderful entry, and unfortunately I missed it. I missed it this time, but that's how it goes. Otherwise, I'm actually really happy. We have several positions in profit. With Bitcoin, I actually have several long positions, this one here and this one here. Overall, that's a long position with a bit more than $30,000. And this is my swing long, which will stay open for a longer time anyway. And I'll see where I take profit, most likely in the price range around 170,000 US dollars, because there's liquidity there again. I also don't want to make the video too long today. Guys, just one more small example. Right now with Bitcoin, yes, the fear and greed index is at 15 purely from a Bitcoin perspective. That's extreme fear, which means people out there are very, very panicked about what's happening right now. And all of this could be connected so that now, slowly but surely, we reach a bottom, a local bottom, and can see new upward moves. If we look at the overall crypto market, the fear is at 25. Maybe it will go down a bit more. Maybe it was even lower before we can take a look at that. Yes, at one point, specifically on November 7th, it was already down to 21. That means we were already close to extreme fear here as well. What's super interesting about 21 is that you can see with the bullish signals I've shared with you, yes, that the long-term Fibonacci's we have down here, I can zoom out again and go to the daily chart. Yes, exactly this one here, the 0.5 from this large chart pattern that was present here. This entry, wonderful, yes, finally to rise up and make new highs again and maybe even new all-time highs. That's why you should definitely stay tuned to the channel and follow my videos. Of course, I'll be sharing my trades again in the next update videos. Yesterday was just a very spontaneous live session that I did and handled everything. But the analyses will of course be included again in the regular videos as well. And then you'll see how I analyze it using the liquidation heat map and the Fibonacci's. And why I enter my trades the way I do, and I don't care where we currently stand. I also look for very neutral long and short entries, no matter where the market is at the moment. If I see a signal that tells me I can enter, then I take it. That's why you should definitely subscribe, maybe activate the bell, and we'll see each other next time. Ciao, ciao.